Hello and welcome to Mend Your Psyche. Today I want to talk about 10 uncomfortable truths that you have to accept for your own well-being, and the last one is a true life changer. New psychology tips are uploaded regularly, so please remember to subscribe for more videos like this. Number 1 is that you need to worry less about what others think about you. I can almost guarantee that pretty much everyone else is worrying about what you think of them too. Basically, everyone is too busy with how others perceive them to worry about what you are doing or not doing. You do it yourself, right? Why would they be so different? That's not to say that you shouldn't care at all about other people and what they think, but chances are you overestimate how important certain things are to others. Number 2, accept that no matter how hard you try, not everyone will like you. This ties a little bit into the first one about worrying less about what others think, but don't waste your energy trying to be something different to get others to like you. If they don't like who you are, they're not worth your time. It goes both ways. You probably don't like everyone you have to deal with either, do you? Number 3, your thoughts, both conscious and subconscious, control how you feel. If you have ever been in therapy for depression, you have most likely heard about cognitive and metacognitive behavior. Simply put, cognitive behavior is about being more aware of how you feel and think in a specific, isolated situation, while metacognitive is a layer above, becoming more about how you feel and think about those feelings and thoughts that you have. The goal is to avoid spiraling into negative thoughts and feelings, and learn to think something like, okay, this time I reacted badly, but it's okay, next time I'll do better. There's a reason psychology is a huge field, and only you can fix your own problems, but hopefully this little tip can help some. Number 4, you have to set realistic expectations for yourself. If you go in with high expectations, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. If you often feel let down by yourself, others, or anything else, maybe it's time to reassess your expectations. That's not to say that I recommend being pessimistic, but personally I prefer to lean more towards that and be pleasantly surprised instead. Nobody goes around being happy all the time. That is a pipe dream that seems good, but it's not realistic at all. Some people may put up a happy front, but everyone has their issues and bad days. Number 5, stop comparing yourself to others. I sometimes find it helpful to remember that no matter how bad things get, a lot of people have it much worse. And even if you see so many people that have it better or more successful than you, that will always be the case. Social media has made this a lot harder to keep in mind, as we are bombarded by posts, videos, and stories about so many people with seemingly perfect lives. So it can be helpful to try and limit your time there for more reasons than just this. This circles back to cognitive behavior. Try to be aware of what triggers your feelings of envy or jealousy and be mindful of when this hits. Every time you feel that, try to focus on what's positive in your life instead. It's very hard work and it's okay to fail at it sometimes, but the more you remind yourself, the more you can start shaping your thought cycles and feelings. It can also be helpful to remind yourself that money does not buy happiness. A good indication of this is to look at how many celebrities struggle with substance abuse and depression as well. Bottom line is, the only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself. Number 6, as an adult, you are being held accountable for your own actions. What you say and what you do has consequences. Take responsibility and stand up for your own actions and choices, or someone else will hold you accountable. A good example is the laws we have to keep our society as peaceful and safe as possible. They're not just there to punish people, but also to keep everyone in line. Number 7, you can't wait for the perfect time to get things done. There is no such thing. It's always easy to come up with excuses to procrastinate about something you don't want to do. Such as, no, I don't have the time today, or I'm too tired, or I just have to do this and that first, and so on. You probably know it all too well. The harsh truth here is that in many cases, the perfect time doesn't exist, and what you have been putting off may never get done. Often the thought of doing something is much worse than actually doing it, especially if you struggle with things like depression or anxiety. Number 8, even if it doesn't feel like it, you always have a choice. You've probably heard a saying that the only inevitable things in life are death and taxes, and I tend to agree somewhat on this. Sometimes you feel like a victim of circumstance and things are just out of your control. This could be that you are stuck in a job you hate, but you need the money to survive. So in a sense, you may feel that you have no choice, but you actually do have a few choices. You can find something that you want more and really go for it, or you can make excuses why it's not possible and just stay where you are. And even if it is almost impossible to find a better job or source of income, you can decide how you react to that. Keep looking for things that bring joy and try to do as much of that as possible, and it will make the harder things in life a little easier to deal with. And the uncomfortable truth here is that if others keep treating you badly, it's because you allow them to. If you command respect, you will be respected. So that's a choice. Choose to keep good people in your life. It's important to learn to say no as well. Know your own limits. Number 9. Every tiny decision you make shapes your future. You need to take control and ownership of your life. If you don't like what your life is like right now, you are the only person who can make the necessary changes to make it better. Celebrate small wins and embrace your mistakes too. Learn from them and don't dwell on them. Getting your day off to a good start is part of this, as it can help shape the rest of the day. But if you experience some adversity, try to acknowledge it and just move on. Every time you fail, you learn more about what not to do, like a toddler falling down when trying to learn how to walk. Number 10. Fear is your biggest enemy, and this is probably the most important thing to embrace for your own well-being and happiness. I'm mostly talking about fear of the unknown. It can feel overwhelming and sometimes crippling if you are put in a situation that you are not at all prepared for. This is completely natural, but something I highly recommend working on as much as you can. Just acknowledge that it is unfamiliar and do your best. Next time a similar situation will be a lot easier. Like learning how to ride a bike. Most of us fell down many times before getting it right, but now it's second nature. If you ask someone in their last days what they regret the most, the vast majority will tell you about things they regret they didn't do, because of fear. Keep in mind, you need to step out of your comfort zone in order to grow and experience new things. Thank you for your time, and if you enjoyed this and got some value from it, please remember to subscribe for more regular content like this.